Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
We're going to talk about the environment in today's program. You know, the world where we live and the land around us and stuff like that. We want to keep it clean and healthy for ourselves and for future generations. And also at the same time, we need to keep physically fit by exercising. So how do these two things go together?
We're going to find out. We've got some new types of green exercise trends to share with you, and they have some funny names. At least two of them have funny names to me. We're going to go ahead and read through today's lesson, and then we'll be back to talk about what green exercises there are, just, being invented every day. People everywhere are going green to save the planet. In an effort to do even more, green exercise began being promoted in the early 21st century. It lets people clean up the environment as they work out. Here are a few examples of the latest green exercise trends. 1. Straw clean. Straw clean is a combination of the words straw and snorkeling. Devised by some Australian divers, it's an imaginative method of cleaning up plastic trash in oceans. In addition to straws, divers are encouraged to remove any other plastic trash they come across. 2. Plogging. Joggers looking to lend a hand may want to give plogging a try. It's a mashup of the Swedish phrase plocka upp, meaning pick up, and the word jogging. Like the name suggests, runners keep an eye out for litter while jogging. Plogging began in Sweden, but there are now plogging groups in several major cities. 3. Green gyms. These outdoor gyms have become popular in countries around the world. Green gyms are often located in public parks, and they are free to use. They conserve power because they don't require any electricity. Green gyms also promote the existence of green spaces in urban areas. Combining exercise with environmental awareness is a brilliant concept. It enables people to improve their personal health and the health of our planet all in one go.
Okay, let's start to talk about the contents of today's lesson right now. It's our environmental unit, or environment unit for September, and we want to keep the planet clean with green exercise. Of course, if we talk about things being green, we're talking about being environmentally friendly, and of course, we want to keep the planet clean because it gets dirty from time to time, and people everywhere are going green to save the planet. Hopefully that is the case. If you're going green, of course, that means you are environmentally aware and you do your part to keep the planet nice and clean.
So, in an effort to do even more, we've got something called green exercise that's been invented. It began being promoted in the early 21st century, so it's been around for a while. Now, if you promote something, you give it a word of mouth, you get the word out that it's happening. You might even advertise to promote a product. Here we're promoting this whole idea of green exercise. That while you're exercising, you're also helping the planet, especially cleaning up the planet, which gets kind of dirty with all the people out there littering and throwing their trash down, which I hate. I can't stand that. So green exercise started being promoted again in the early 21st century. That's in the 2000s, right?
Exactly. The 21st century would be the 2000s.
We're living in the 21st century now.
That's where we are right now. So this began being promoted this century. and it lets people clean up the environment as they work out. To work out, of course, means to get exercise, and you can work out and clean up the environment at the same time. So here we've got this verb phrase to clean up. That just means to pick up your stuff and put it all away. And also it means maybe to sweep and mop the floor and clean things up, just to make sure everything is nice and tidy. So yeah, you can do this like killing two birds with one stone. You can clean the environment and get a workout at the same time.
That's pretty nice if you can do both at the same time. Now, we're talking about green exercise being one of the latest trends out there. If something's a trend, it means a lot of people have started doing it. It's become kind of popular. It wasn't at first, and then as some people start doing it, more and more people see this trend happening, and it becomes more and more popular as time goes on. If it's a trend, it usually lasts just, a short amount of time. It's not usually a permanent thing that people get into. For example, fashion. There are certain fashion trends that only last a year, sometimes not even a full year. I know that those ugly plastic shoes, what are they called? Crocs. Those were a trend for a while, although I know some people who still wear them, but they were definitely a trend where a lot of people were wearing them, and then something else comes up and people move on to other things. This green exercise trend, though, has been around for a couple of years, to say the least, because we're already 2020, and we know that it's been being promoted since. It was started getting promotion at the early 21st century, the 2000s, so maybe it will stick around.
It might. So how do you do this? How exactly do you keep the environment clean and get a workout at the same time? Well, here's one called snorkeling. That's interesting. Snorkeling is a combination of the words straw and snorkeling. Remember, a straw is usually a piece of plastic, not always, but most often a piece of plastic that you use to drink things. You suck the liquid out of a cup or out of a mug or something like that. And you don't have to use your lips to do it. You use a straw. And we've also got the word snorkeling here, which is when you go in the ocean with a snorkel, which is like an air tube attached to your mouth. It goes over behind your head, and you wear goggles, and you usually use flippers. But you don't have an air tank, okay? That's scuba diving. Snorkeling is easier. You can't really go very deep with it, but still it can be a lot of fun. And so, yeah, straw, snorkeling, snorkeling. This is a combination, which means two or more things mixed together.
Yeah, so that's how they came up with this word that's been invented. I don't think it's in the dictionary yet, but who knows? Some of these new words that are invented do make it into the dictionary. Yeah, like Tom said, a combination is when you put two or more things together. Maybe you're cooking and you want to combine ingredients. After you combine them, you can refer to it as a combination. I like the combination of sweet and sour at the same time. I like those two flavors in some dishes that I eat. Well, this is a combination of words. Who came up with it? Who invented it? Well, we're told here in the next sentence, it was devised by some Australian divers. They came up with it. To devise is a verb. It just means that you plan or come up with something that's new, to devise something. And they were the ones who actually thought, as long as we're snorkeling, why don't we do some good and pick up some of these straws that are in the ocean? So devise, to plan or invent something, and they're the ones who came up with it, the good old Australian divers. For me, though, Tom, I have to admit, I don't see a lot of straws in the ocean. I think we should focus on plastic bags first.
True. I don't really go snorkeling as much as I used to. So if you go snorkeling or if you go diving, you'll be able to see just what kind of garbage is down there.
Yeah.
So I suppose when you go diving, you should bring some kind of bag with you or a net or something, and you just kind of pick it up as you're exploring various things underwater.
Why not? As long as you're on the beach. I know my family, picks up trash when we go to the beach. Well, it's the same if you're in the ocean. Why not pick up the trash you see there, too?
Pick up other people's trash while you're at it, of course. So, yes, this is an imaginative method of cleaning up plastic trash in oceans. So here, imaginative, which means it uses your imagination. You imagine something to do. You just think of this, you come up with a new idea. That's what imaginative means. It's new, it's novel, it's creative.
We often will call children imaginative. They have great imaginations. They can create such crazy things in their little heads, their little minds. It's amazing. Imaginative. And a lot of authors, especially those who write fiction, are quite imaginative as well. They have great imaginations. Now, in addition to straws, these divers are also encouraged to remove any other plastic trash they come across. So, like we were just talking about, as long as you're in the ocean and you see some trash, why not go ahead, pick it up and put it in a bag perhaps that you brought along with you to collect garbage. Other people's garbage, I know, but you're helping everyone when you do your part. Right now, guys, we're going to take a quick break, listen to our Chinese teacher, and then we'll be back.
谢谢美语老师。Hello, my name is Shelby. 绿色运动做环保。现在可以运动健身的同时，有 Go Green。现在各地的人们都在响应环保来救地球。为了做更多，请到第一段第二句，句首 In an effort to do even more。Effort 是努力，名词。若搭配介系词 in， 通常会用单数 an effort 来表达，而其他情况单复数没有太大差异。例如，努力动词片语 make efforts 或者 make an effort 都甚为常见。绿色运动在21世纪初就开始被提倡，它让人们在运动的同时也清理环境。第三句是使役动词 let 加受词加原形动词 clean up 清扫，修饰前面的 people， 而后面子句中的动词 work out 常有几种意思。第一，健身，例如这一句 They work out 他们运动，或者当作发生发展，例如 I hope this new job works out well for her 我希望这项新工作会非常适合她。以下是绿色运动趋势的例子 Trends 趋势。第一 Struggling 倾诉浮潜，是结合 straw 吸管和 snorkeling 浮潜，它是由几位澳洲的潜水者所发明，是一种创新的方法来清理海洋中的塑胶废弃物。第三句 In addition to straws 除了吸管 In addition to 加名词介系词片语表示除了，相当于 besides something 或者 apart from something 或者 aside from something。 潜水者也被鼓励清除他们遇到的其他垃圾。后面的动词片语 come across 表示偶遇，接前面被省略的 which 受词。偶遇有好几个同义片语，用法相同，例如偶然遇到老师 run into my teacher bump into my teacher bump 或者 run across my teacher 以及 come upon my teacher。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. Let's continue with our lesson on the environment. And we're trying to keep the planet clean, keep planet Earth clean by doing some green exercise. And we're all going green. And of course, we all like to work out. So some people have thought of ideas. These ideas include working out and cleaning up the planet at the same time. You can still get a workout, and you can also make a contribution to society at the same time. Now, we started by talking about something called snorkeling, which is a combination of the words straw and snorkeling. So, yeah, you look for straws underwater while you go scuba diving or while you go snorkeling. This idea came up was devised by some divers from Australia, and it's imaginative, it's creative, it's an interesting approach to cleaning up trash. And, of course, you can remove other plastic while you're at it at the same time. Not just straws, but as Stephanie said, plastic bags, maybe bottles or whatever. Whatever you see, pick it up because they always end up in the tummies of sea turtles and stuff like that and whales, and that's just no good.
It's terrible. So, number 2 here is plogging. This definitely isn't an English word. It was just created by... actually putting 2 words or phrases together. We've got part of it is Swedish. In Sweden, of course, they speak the language Swedish. Joggers looking to lend or give a hand may want to try plogging or give plogging a try. Kind of looks like jogging, but no, it's a mashup of the Swedish phrase plocka up, meaning pick up, and the word jogging. Mashup is kind of a popular thing lately where recording artists often take 2 songs and put them together, which sometimes I hear some really great mashups, I must confess. Some songs really work well with other songs. So that's what a mashup is, in case you wondered, to put 2 things or 2 songs together. Here, we're actually using mashup to talk about putting a little bit of Swedish together with some English, and we're coming up with a new word here, plogging. So as we can read here, the Swedish phrase, plocka up, and I don't speak Swedish. Kind of sounds like German to me when I hear Swedish. It means to pick up, and of course, you guys know what jogging means. That's English. It just means you are running for exercise.
Exactly, jogging. You're not really running, you're jogging. You're kind of running slowly to get some exercise. And like the name suggests, runners keep an eye out for litter while jogging. So, yeah, that's what the name suggests. That's what the name tells us. Yeah, pick something up or pluck something up while you're jogging, and that's what it means here. And plogging began in Sweden, but there are now plogging groups in several major cities. So it began in Sweden there after the runners, stopped off at IKEA there to look at furniture and stuff like that.
That is a Swedish store.
Yep, or they went for a drive in their Saab or Volvo cars or whatever. Then they thought, hey, let's go jogging, and while we're at it, we'll pick up some garbage along the way. We'll do some plogging. So there you go. You might want to consider that yourself here. I know a lot of people here in Taiwan love jogging.
Really? Ugh. I don't like jogging very much. Although I do it at least once a week. I just don't enjoy it.
Okay.
So it did begin in Sweden, but now other countries have joined the trend, you could say. Here's number 3, guys. Green gyms. It's not because they plant a lot of, trees and flowers in gyms. No. They don't even have a lot of house plants in gyms, at least the ones I've been to. No, a green gym is going to be outdoors. So these outdoor gyms, if you use outdoor in front of a noun, it's an adjective. But if you're using it like I just said, it's outdoors. Outdoors becomes a noun. I'm going outdoors, or that park is outdoors, or that swimming pool is outdoors. But if I say it's an indoor swimming pool, of course, that's just the adjective form. So these outdoor gyms, they've become popular in countries around the world. If the weather were any cooler here in the summer, I think this would be a great idea, but part of the reason I joined the gym is because it's so hot here in summer, guys. Ugh.
So it's a good way to work out in a nicely air-conditioned room.
But that's not a green gym, is it?
No. I guess not, because, running the air conditioner is going to require burning fuel to create the energy for that, so you're probably going to be creating some pollution somewhere, maybe some radioactive waste or something from the nuclear power plants. But in any case here, these are outdoor gyms, not indoor ones.
Right.
And they sort of have those here in Taiwan. I know the parks here have facilities for people to work out on.
Yeah.
They're kind of exercise machines for elderly people, I think, mostly. But there are still places where you can work out. I think in this particular sense, though, the green gyms are going to be offering more than just those exercise machines. Maybe they have weights and things like that, or obstacle courses, or running tracks, or maybe even exercise bicycles. Who knows?
I don't know. If you conserve power, just means you save. So anytime you conserve energy, conserve your strength. Maybe you have a long day ahead of you. Don't work too hard in the morning. You want to conserve your strength, which just means you save it up. You don't use it all at once. That's a bad thing. So you want to conserve power. Now, here they're conserving power because they don't require any electricity. I have a very small neighborhood park behind my apartment building where they have a couple of pieces of equipment that, and it's true, I usually just see the older people using those pieces of equipment to do a little bit of stretching and maybe even kind of a walking motion on one of the pieces of equipment. They don't have electricity. You don't need it. And so that's kind of an example of machinery that doesn't need electricity, like Tom was suggesting. These green gyms also promote the existence of green spaces in urban areas. Now, if you have this word existence, it just means something is there, it's alive. Our very existence depends upon having clean air and water. If somehow we make our planet so dirty that the air is dirty and the water's dirty, human beings won't be able to survive for very long. So existence just means the state of living or being alive. Here, we're talking about the existence or having these green spaces even there available. Urban areas or city areas. Urban is the opposite of suburban, which is outside the main city where a lot of people build houses. Family homes, at least in America, urban areas, are the inner city where there are a lot of apartment dwellers and a lot of activity going on. There are lots of stores and apartment buildings both.
Well, I would say the opposite of urban would be rural, but
true.
Suburban is kind of halfway between the two.
Yeah, it is. It's
basically.
True. I agree.
But rural areas already have plenty of green out there. They've got forests and fields and things with lots of plants out there.
Lots of trees,
but in the cities, of course, we like to have our green spaces. And of course, Taiwan has done a great job with that, having those green spaces because you not only have a place to go hang out and maybe work out and talk to your friends and stuff, but there are also trees and plants growing there which promote photosynthesis and they help release oxygen into the air, and I believe those plants also help clean up the dirty air, which of course is very dirty in cities, especially in urban areas. Okay, now let's move on now to the third and final paragraph, or the last part, I should say, of our lesson for today. Combining exercise with environmental awareness is a brilliant concept. Yes, indeed, that's one way to kill two birds with one stone. You can exercise and you can help clean the environment at the same time. So remember, we call this a combination of these two activities of being nice to the planet and getting a workout. And remember, we talked about doing that when you go snorkeling and also when you go jogging. And now you can go work out in your local park.
We're calling it a brilliant concept, something that's really smart. It is nice if you can work outside, outside. You'd have to say out twice there. Work out outside. I try to work out outside when the weather's cooler here in Taiwan. It's just more fun. I really don't like to be inside on a treadmill or, with a lot of people around. I just like to be outside if it's possible, but it's not always because sometimes it's hot. So it is a brilliant concept. If you can take any of these concepts we've shared with you, these trends, snorkeling, plogging, or green gyms, give it a try. I think you're helping the environment just a little bit more. So it enables people to improve their personal health and the health of our planet all in one go. If you use that phrase, all in one go, it just means you can combine different activities together and you can do more than just kill two birds with one stone. You've probably heard of that idiom. Kill two birds with one stone. Get more done, at the same time, which is always great. It gives you more time to play.
And I think there are probably other things that you can do as well. Use your imagination and think of some ideas and share them with your class. And that brings us to the end of our discussion for today. It's time now to listen to our Chinese teacher.
Plogging 拾荒慢跑，在你慢跑的时候，随身带着垃圾袋。第一句 Joggers looking to lend a hand. Look to V 表示希望做什么事。Lend a hand 是帮忙。询问人是否可帮忙的时候会说 Can I have a helping hand? 所以 looking to lend a hand 表示希望能帮上忙。Plugging 它是瑞典语，捡垃圾以及慢跑的混搭。第二句生字 mash up 原来是指不同类型的音乐混在一起，这里当混搭。Swedish 瑞典人或者瑞典语，国民瑞典 Sweden S-W-E-D-E-N 后面的 meaning 省略 which means 改成 meaning 的分词构句。顾名思义，跑者在慢跑的时候留意垃圾。现在几个城市都有拾荒慢跑。第三种 green gyms 绿色体育场已在世界各国流行起来，通常位于公园，并且可以免费使用。第二句动词词组 are located 位于 are located in the park 位于公园，看所在地方搭配不同的介系词，通常大地方介系词 in， 小地方 at， 在之间 within。例如 The house is located on the shore 这房子位于海边。第三句，他们因为不需要任何电力而省电。动词 conserve 保存。我们举个例子 We turned the bicycle lights off to conserve the batteries 我们关了自行车的灯以节省电池。与另外一个保存 preserve P-R-E-S-E-R-V-E 略有不同。Conserve 有善用资源，经常搭配空气、水。Conserve power 省电。若念成 conserve 当作名词，表示蜜饯。Strawberry conserve 草莓蜜饯。Preserve 则经常与历史建筑物搭配，例如 to preserve historic sites 妥善地保护历史遗迹。绿色体育场还提倡城市地区绿化空间的存在。Existence 存在 The existence of something 表示什么的存在。最后一段结合运动与环保意识是一个绝妙的概念，它使人们能改善个人与地球的健康。In one go 句为 in one go 惯用语，表示一口气或同时，也可以写成 at one go。例如，我们无法一口气清光所有的箱子。We'll never be able to carry out all these boxes in one go。以上是今天的讲解，谢谢收听。
That is it for today. Thank you so much for joining us, and please join us again next time for another edition of our program. And keep yourself fit. We like to have healthy students and a healthy planet as well. From all of us here at English Digest, I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
Goodbye.
Bye.